everyone, it's Emily from Little Mama Bear Blog. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you're told when you're pregnant that are actually no help in the delivery room. So I have to give a disclaimer with this one because these are just my experience. These were things that didn't help me personally. They probably help other people. So I'm not saying that these are things you should not do. I'm a pretty independent person, so I don't like being told what to do.
Sometimes that gets me into trouble.
When you're pregnant with your first baby, and especially if you were young, I was 20 when I got pregnant, people are always going to be coming up to you and giving you unsolicited advice. I mean everyone, and they get really personal about it too. They want to tell you all about what happens in the delivery room, what to expect, what not to expect, what to do, what not to do. And you're like,
I just wanted my coffee.
And actually, I don't think that stops after the first pregnancy, because directly after giving birth, I was laying there in the bed. I literally had just pushed the baby out of my body, and my nurse was telling me that, oh, the second time your labor will be cut in half. And I'm like, can I just get over this moment right now, please? Of course, these are just well-meaning people. They love you, they want to share their wisdom with you, and that's fine and good. But there's a place for that. I am a big believer in believing in yourself and trusting that you can listen to your own body and know what you need to do. So that doesn't mean that every experience is going to be the same for every woman, but I did hear these things a lot when I was pregnant. So here we go. 5 things that you hear that are no help in the delivery room. Number 1, be sure to take a class.
Make sure you took a class. Have you taken a class? Have you taken a birthing class? Oh my gosh, I love my birthing class.
We didn't take a birthing class until I was about a month away from my due date. And when people would ask us if we took the class, we would feel this sense of insecurity, like we didn't know what we were doing. Honestly, we really didn't know what we were doing. But does any new parent? I wasn't quick to sign up for a birthing class because ultimately I felt like I didn't need it. And like I said, I'm very independent, so I don't even like people telling me things like, breathe this way, do this thing. You know, ultimately I didn't do any of those breathing exercises that they taught us in the birthing class. We only took the birthing class because we felt guilty about not taking one. That time as a new parent, or just before you become a new parent, is a really uncertain time. You doubt everything that you do. Honestly, that carries into parenthood all the time. So it would have been a lot more helpful if people had told us, yes, you are ready. You have prepared. You are going to be the best parents that you can be for your baby. I wish that people had told me that so that I could have had that self-confidence going into the delivery room rather than constantly doubting whether or not I was going to be breathing right. And that leads us into number 2. Make sure you breathe the right way. Okay, let me ask you a question. If there was one thing that you do well without thinking about it, wouldn't that be breathe? Don't you do that all the time, every day? You kind of have to just fall into the rhythm of your own body. That's what's really going to help you. When I was in labor, I was sitting on this peanut ball thing. I would take a deep breath in and then breathe out slowly and normally, despite the incredible pain. Kind of just accept that the pain was going to be there no matter what, and just kept breathing through those contractions, and that's what works for me. Yes, I know you need to be like breathing into the contractions and everything, but there's really no way to teach that kind of breathing. In the birthing class that we took, they had me like laying on my side, breathing all these different ways, and Ryan like patting my back and stuff. For me, that didn't work. For me, listening to my own body and doing what felt good to me at the time.
Okay, not feel good. Nothing feels good in that moment.
That was more valuable to me than remembering to breathe the right way. I did the whole thing with no meds, so. Okay, number 3. Go to the hospital when your contractions are 3 minutes apart. I don't know about you. If you've had a baby, I guess you know this. At the very beginning, it was like 10 minutes, and then 8 minutes, and then 9 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Maybe that's just me. Maybe other people are different. Fortunately, I have an amazing sister-in-law who is a doula. so she knows pretty much everything about birthing babies. And we had her on speakerphone listening to me go through contractions. She listened to the sounds I was making. She could tell it was time for us to go to the hospital because I was not able to go through the contractions and be able to talk. If I had waited for that 3-minute mark, I might have given birth to my baby in the house, in my bedroom. And that wasn't the goal for me. Number 4, when your water breaks, then go to the hospital. If your water breaks, you probably should go to the hospital. That's something you need to talk over with your doctor. But don't wait necessarily until that moment to go to the hospital. My water never broke during labor. They had to break my waters during labor to progress it. So near to the end of my pregnancy, I started realizing that I actually had to get the baby out of me. This was a point of concern for me. When people would ask me,
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Duh, I mean, come on, I've been pregnant for 41 weeks.
I would sometimes express my concern or my worry that I didn't know what it felt like to push. And everybody would tell me when it's time to push, you have to just know. But that really wasn't helpful to me going in because I wanted to be able to know what to expect. So while I was in labor, I still didn't know what it would feel like to know that you had to push. I didn't feel anything like that. I kept asking the nurses, can I start pushing now? And they kept saying, when you need to push, you'll know. And then this nurse told me the one piece of advice that I wish somebody had told me before. When it's time for you to push the baby out, it feels like you're pooping. That's it. That's what it feels like, exactly like that. When she told me, I was like, oh, okay, I know how to do that. So yeah, that's my story. Sorry, I got really real there at the end. If you take one thing out of this whole video, let it be that you need to listen to your own body. It's very important that you have confidence in yourself. Okay, so that's it. 5 things that were no help in the delivery room to me, and maybe not to you, I don't know. Why don't you drop some comments below? Let me know how your experience was giving birth.